of today. This is a good thing. It is important that we have, at the apex of our system, someone who is not subject of the kind of party political attack which inevitably, in a robust democracy such as ours, drags people down, sometimes fairly, sometimes unfairly. There is no way that we could abandon the constitutional monarchy and continue the kind of system that we have had throughout our national existence under the Crown. There is no way we could move from a distinguished Australian representing the Crown to a president, appointed or elected, whether by the people or by some form of an electoral college, without subtly or radically changing the office and without subtly or radically changing our system of government with it. Any president would have more of a mandate than the Governor-General and would inevitably disrupt the delicate chemistry between the ceremonial and the symbolic and between the political and the organisational aspects of our government. So we must be conscious of the realities of our system of government. We should be conscious of the strengths of our system of government, and instead of running it down, we should always do our best to celebrate it. And that's what I always wish to do when it comes to the Crown and the Constitution of our country. I will argue endlessly various points of politics, of society, of culture, of economics, with the Labor Party and with the current Prime Minister. But I hope I will never do anything that would call into question the fundamental essence of our society and our system of government. And that, I fear, is what inevitably happens when people attack the Crown because they see it as in some way diminishing the Australianness of our system. For me, the fact that we as Australians share in a system of government which is older than our country, the fact that we as Australians have a claim on the Crown, which after the papacy is the oldest continuing institution of Western civilisation, this is no bad thing, this is a good thing. This is no excrescence in our system, this is a grace note in our system and in our society at large. And were the Crown ever to be expunged from our system, I don't say that everyone would notice a massive difference on day one, but over time we would be diminished as a nation. I believe we would be spiritually and culturally impoverished as a nation should this change be made. And I am sure that notwithstanding the resilience and the stoicism of the Australian people, there would be millions who would feel almost personally bereaved were the Crown to be excised from our system. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased to be here today. I am very pleased to yet again acknowledge my support for and allegiance to the Crown and the Australian Constitution. And I think that the Crown and the Australian Constitution has a much more assured future than the editorial writers for the Sydney Morning Herald commentators on the ABC would like to concede. I can't help but note that at least since the end of the 1990s, support for a republic has been gradually falling. I couldn't help but note the tremendous popular enthusiasm for the recent royal wedding. And it is impossible not to admire the capacity of the Crown to evolve, which was made manifest in the recent royal wedding and which is so obviously inherent in the union of two such appealing, intelligent and modern young people as Kate and Wills. I believe that not only is the Crown something that adds to our country, but I think it adds to the wider world. We live in a difficult world. It's always been difficult. It's never going to get much less difficult. But to think that through the Crown we have strong and abiding links with other countries of significance and substance in the world is a good thing, not a bad thing. Why would we want to in some way diminish our links with New Zealand, in some way diminish our links with Canada, in large measure diminish our links with the United Kingdom, as inevitably we would should the connection through the Crown be sundered. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am confident that the Crown has a long and happy future ahead of it here in this country. Certainly, I am confident that just as I was born a subject of the Queen, I will die a subject of the monarch. And I intend to live for a very long time indeed. I do not intend to shuffle off this mortal coil anytime soon. As you know, the Liberal Party is a broad church in many ways, including the fact that we are not officially committed to a monarchist position. The Liberal Party includes people who support the Crown. It includes people who would prefer a republic, and I am not saying that that should change anytime soon. Should people decide that they prefer a monarchy to a republic, let it be through change of mind, not through act of direction. Let them decide that the arguments for the monarchy, that the case for the monarchy is stronger than they had thought. Never let them feel that they are being told to do something by anyone else, that they are commanded, as it were, to change their mind. I'm sure that just as Malcolm Turnbull and I debated this question in a friendly, in a combative, but always in a constructive spirit back in the late 1990s, when the two of us are in our dotage, we will sit side by side, perhaps in this very club, and continue to debate this issue because I am confident that the Crown will be secure on the head of the King of Australia, as secure then as it has been all the years of our national existence. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. It is an honour to be here. Again, Philip, I congratulate you and all members of the Monarchist League for your stalwart support for something which has been such an enduring part of the Australian way.
Thank you, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now my pleasant duty to move a vote of thanks to Tony Abbott for his very interesting and insightful address. But before I do, I'd like to tell you a little story. A few years ago, I can't exactly put a date to it, but it was